Hey YouTube, this is Alexander, and today I'm going to be giving you my full video review of the OnePlus One. So the OnePlus One was actually very hard to purchase up until about a month or so ago when OnePlus dropped the invite system. Now, pretty much anybody can buy this budget-minded phone, but is it still worth it? Let's go ahead and find out. So the OnePlus One comes in two different variations. One, the 16GB Silk White version, which you see here, and the 64GB Sandstone Black. Now the OnePlus One sports a quad-core Snapdragon 801 processor clocked at 2.5 GHz, the Adreno 330 GPU, 3 GB of RAM, like I mentioned, 16 or 64 GB of storage, a 3100 mAh battery, a 5.5-inch 1080p IPS display protected by Corning's Gorilla Glass 3, a 13-megapixel camera using the Sony Exmor IMX214 sensor with dual LED flash, and an f-stop of 2.0. It's capable of recording 4K slow motion at 720p and 120 frames per second, and raw picture support, and it's also got a 5-megapixel front-facing camera. So specs aside, how does it actually feel using it for more than a week? I gotta say, pretty nice actually. I've used it for about a week and a half, and the device is small enough to use comfortably with one hand, yet the display is big enough to where you feel like you're still getting a good sized display. Now the back is very slippery though, but that's nothing that a good old D-brand skin can't fix. I would just say be careful whenever you're using it if you're outdoors or pulling it out of your pocket, because like I said, it can be slippery if you don't have any extra protection. Now the volume rocker and power buttons weren't really anything to get excited over, as they just pretty much felt like cheap plastic to me anyway. Now the glass panel is raised up from the body of the phone, which means that it's gonna probably end badly if you drop it on the side or on the corner, but it's nothing to worry about if you have a case on or you're just pretty much all around careful with your phone. Now onto the camera. I found it to be pretty good for the $300 that you'll spend on the base 16GB model. However, the stock camera seems to do some weird stuff with the pictures on auto mode. Of course, it's got many different modes that you can choose between and a lot of different settings, even RAW support, so you can go ahead and edit the photos to be how you like them. But in auto mode, it seems to wash out the colors, and they just weren't exactly true to what they actually look like in real life. Now, when I switched to the Google camera to see if it maybe had just been the camera, that problem seemed to have gone away, so I guess it's just the stock camera that doesn't do well in processing the shots. But anyway, you do have RAW support, so you can go ahead and edit them if you'd like. You can use the Google camera or a host of other cameras that are available in the Google Play Store. As I mentioned in my comparison between the OnePlus One and Nexus 6, these speakers are okay. Not bad, not great, just okay. They're down-firing, and like many other smartphones, will get a bit distorted at the highest of volumes. Of course, it is running CyanogenMod 12S though, so you get the option of tweaking the EQ levels right out of the box with the included app, but more on CM12S later. Now onto that display. Despite it not being a pixel monster, it does look nice, especially if you're on a pixel junkie or aren't used to the higher resolution displays available. It does get nice and dim for nighttime bed use and bright enough for outdoor visibility. Now the colors tend to lean a bit on the cooler side of things, at least on my model, but it's really only evident when you put it next to another device and compare. Blacks are also good looking, they're pretty deep, but not AMOLED. Again, it's something though that you won't notice unless you compare between this and another phone with an AMOLED display. All in all, it's a good display that I really enjoy using. Now onto the software, which is CyanogenMod 12S or CM12S for short. CM12S is, in brief, a very customizable version of stock Android 5.0 Lollipop. On the surface, everything looks very similar, but dive into the settings and you'll begin to notice many different options like off-screen gestures for quick access of the camera, music, and flashlight. You also have a host of options for the status bar and notification drawer, like changing the toggles and whatnot. You can even download and apply an entirely new theme to change the entire look of the OS. It's no doubt an awesome selling point of the OnePlus One, and I really enjoy the flexibility and customization that you get with the phone. So performance on the OnePlus One has been surprisingly good. $300 goes a long way in today's market, with the occasional stutter and lag only in heavy gaming really. Although there seems to be a bug with the lock screen where if you're streaming music, at least from Spotify, the lock screen will get really laggy. I'm not sure why that is, but hopefully it's fixed in a subsequent update. Anyway, everyday tasks like texting, watching videos, browsing the web, Twitter, Google+, etc. is going to be a breeze. You won't really notice any problems there. Where you do notice problems, like I mentioned, is in gaming. Riptide GP2 here, for example, can pretty much cause some stutters and problems in heavy areas when there's a lot of splashing and whatnot. But like I said, in everyday use, it's not a problem. Now, battery life is probably the biggest surprise of all. I'm easily able to make it through an entire day and then some. The combination of a 3100 mAh battery, a 5.5-inch display at 1080p, and good software makes this the best phone in terms of battery life I have ever used, hands down. I can stream Spotify for 2+ hours, text, read some articles, check Twitter and Google Plus occasionally, and have 4+ hours of screen on time, and have it last past midnight from taking it off the charger at 7 a.m. This thing is just crazy good in terms of battery life. Maybe my usage just isn't as heavy as yours might be, but I have no problems making it through an entire day, and then even into the second day. This thing is really good on battery life. So there are some weird bugs, like the gallery force closing often, and the system theme wallpaper doesn't actually show up in the lock screen even though I told it to or I selected it, which is pretty annoying because I haven't actually been able to fix that second bug. On the other hand, double tap to wake and sleep and the notification LED are things that I love, and they've pretty much become indispensable to me. These are features that I think every phone should have. So the overall package you get for $300 is pretty remarkable. OnePlus certainly did an awesome job on the One. I only hope to see continued software updates from them, but anyway, that's pretty much going to end the video. If you enjoyed, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe down there for more, and don't forget to follow me on Google+, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat to see behind the scenes of videos like this. If you guys have any questions or comments, be sure to leave them down below, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.